Welcome to Pragati Vichar Literature Festival. Today we have gathered here for one of a kind 24 hours authors marathon. Today we have with us Mr. Vignesh Sivasankar. He is an award-winning published author of various fictional anthologies. He started off in the field of writing with his debut book called The 10 Commandments of Evil. Although we know that the 10 Commandments, also known as the Decalogue, I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing it correctly, are a set of principles relating to ethics worship that play a very important role in Christianity. So, sir, tell us something about your book.
So the book is all about, like you already mentioned, the 10 Commandments is actually written by God Himself. That is what I mean. People believe to be an ethical guidebook on how to lead a perfect life. So I just wanted to create something which the other side, if it exists, what will be the corollary for the same. So that is where the 10 Commandments of Evil was born. And the book basically deals with 10 different short stories, which has 10 commandments from the devil, which says that what all you should do so that the devil or the Satan can, come and get you. So it's one kind of a way even to say that you have to lead an ethical life, otherwise, you follow the evil commandment to get you kind of stuff. That's pretty much it.
So this is so fascinating. I'm really gonna, read that book. Really. Okay.
I hope you do.
Okay. So, sir, as you have said that it has 10 different stories. So do you have any perfect or, do you have any favorite story up till now in that book that is, very close to your heart or, related to, is it relatable to your life also?
Okay, so all these 10 stories are actually, I've gathered from some of the people's experiences basically. So the 10 stories, if you could read it, you will find some of those incidences which have already happened, which you would be knowing already that these things have happened already. And the people associated with those incidences have shared their experiences with me. And that was one of the one of the route where I got the stories from. So yeah, there are many stories which I liked basically, and only the top 10 of it I was able to filter it. And in that, if you ask me, in the book, the first 3 stories are my favorite, which I've written it first as well. So if you ask me something favorite, yeah, the first 3 stories are my favorite ones, which I liked it and I felt, okay, this is good, I need to write it down.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. So as you said, you have gathered experiences from different people. They have told you about their experiences. So, I mean, in those 10 stories, do you have any story that is related, that you have experienced in your life? Just tell us something about it.
Yeah, see, there are many instances which happened in my life which I can able to relate as well. There are some scenes which I've seen before or which came as a nightmare or a dream to me as well. I've incorporated thinking that the character must have felt something like that. For example, in the second book called as Shades of Order, the girl the protagonist is a girl and she has an extra sensory perception to smell death before it happens to you. So she can smell a person and she can understand that, the person
is going to die. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she wants to save someone very close in her family. And there is a big fire tragedy which is supposed to unfold. So this actually got inspired when I really saw a person who was, in that kind of a moment, was trying to save himself from getting engulfed in a fire. So those things kept, as a small child, it edged into my memory as a nightmare. And when I thought of writing it down, I didn't find a perfect scenario where how the girl can save her loved ones from. So that came into my thought and imagination, and that flowed of like the story. So there are some 2-3 instances like that which I can relate to.
Okay, sir. Perfect, sir. So let's just start and let's just go ahead with the question and answer round. So, sir, I really want to ask that nowadays it is just mere entertainment to speak about ghosts or any any strange sights or spirits, right, in the news and on and in articles also, right? So now it is getting, I think so, that it is getting profitable for many such industries. So do you think that it is ethically right, or do you have any, just we just want to know your point of view, sir, on that.
Yeah, see, there are some people who say that it is not just very new. The practice of warding off the evil or demon is right there from age-old times itself. You would have seen people who will, they say that she is, we need an exorcism to be done in case if there is a spirit holding the girl.
Yeah.
And it has been there in our Puranas, even in Bible, from a long time. People believe that a satanic presence is always there in order to get hold of you, and you'll have to run away. The modern age has become a new type of a business, like a ghost exterminator, paranormal investigator. Such kind of new names have come to to get that curiosity into the minds of people. But uh, ethical or not ethical, I'm not very sure, because it's again how you perceive it, basically. In your house, you do a prayer, a puja, or a havan, or you visit a church, you say that you're cleansed, right? You do a baptism or you do a havan, you say that your house is cleansed because the holy water treats you, or something like that. You go into that kind of a perception for the God side of it. Same way, people believe that that some close one or loved one of you has been with some illness or some sickness that is not at all going, and I now call these people to do something, and they become fine. If they become fine and they get paid, what's the harm? And even if they don't do it, you have some belief that a faith that something is going to happen, and I'm waiting off the evil. So either way, it's their own choice. I mean, but yeah, that if you're saying something like I can prove it that there is something else, and nobody can prove such kind of an existence. So if you're able to try to prove something, it's not gonna happen. So I think the answer is open to you.
Okay, sir. And I just wanted to ask this question when this session started, but I'm just going to ask this question right now. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, I do believe in ghosts, because just like how you believe in God, it's as simple as that. So the ghost uh, really exists. But if you ask me, have you, like an entity, or like something like a physical thing, can you just show to me? Then I'll ask you, can you show me God as well in the same way? It's
Okay.
all in our minds, right?
So if you believe in ghosts, so have you ever experienced any weird sights or spirits in your life or in your early childhood?
Yeah, see, I don't think so. There would be any child who is not afraid of ghosts. Every child would have that monster or a ghost story which is always there, which is
Yeah.
always sticking. You would have
Sometimes their parents say these stories to so that they'll be mannered or they'll do such things. Yeah. So
true. So that why do they do that is because to create a fear.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just like how you need to create a sense of spirituality when you talk about God. You need to create the sense of scared or fear aspect so that the child behaves. Suddenly, when you're sitting and suddenly the lights go off, your senses start to work. What is happening, right? Sitting at night, you're reading a book, and suddenly, your curtains sway to some extent. You look behind and you see even the person who's very spiritual, even atheist, everybody gets a moment of fear saying that, what is this?
Yeah.
Right. So that's the whole point. That will always stay with, I think, with the human beings. And it has stayed as it is imbibed in our DNA for, I think it will be there forever till the human race is still there.
Okay, sir. So did you ever experience it?
Yeah, I told you. Without experiencing, without getting scared of those things, I'll not be able to write. I'll not be able to convince my audience, my readers, saying that you read it and you'll get scared, because I've experienced. People have experienced it and have told their stories to me, and I've written it something down.
Okay, sir. So with that, I want to ask, what is paranormal to you, sir?
Paranormal is actually a very concept which is played in a very in a very filmical fashion, at least in current days, but it has a very deep roots of literature. If you see in the books, do you see it dates back to a lot of years back. The paranormal investigations, or the things which are related to supernatural or paranormal things related to a long time back, and there are many different versions of it. For example, there is a huge amount of difference between a ghost, a spirit, a demon, a Satan, a devil. So there are many such forms of dealing with paranormal things. And many people have explored different ways. But what is paranormal is something which you can't explain, basically, which doesn't fit into the rules and ethics that we have created, which goes a little bit far from the natural things and physical things, which is not normal. So paranormal is something, you do some normal stuff and something goes wrong where you don't know something. No, that's something paranormal.
Yeah, it is abnormal. It isn't. Yes.
You don't have any explanation. So
yes, sir. Yes, completely right. And do you believe that energy transform from one place to another? So do you believe in energy transformation, sir?
Absolutely, because that's the whole idea of the highest form of spirituality. Energy, the theory simply says that energy transforms from one form to another. You don't create or destroy an energy. It can only be transformed to one thing to another thing. And the highest form of spirituality in any gurus you see, the highest form is making your physical energy into something connected to the superior God. And that is where you don't have you don't get scared of death. You go into that in Sanskrit nirvana, or your atma is connected to that energy, and you don't feel the scared of death. In same way, what happens after death is your energy which is being built up is converted into something, but you don't know what is that. You don't know what world are you going to go, what will that energy be converted into. Paranormal is something that, what if that world tries to connect to you? So that's the whole logic of it.
Thank you so much, sir. Even I want to add something in this. I mean, I believe in positive energy and negative energy, and when I'm around people whose energy just destroys my mood or my vibe. For example, I'm positive and then I meet someone, all right, and then they just pass a very negative mark. I just the energy at that time also passes through each other, right? So it yeah. So I think so that energy. I mean, I believe in energy transformations, truly, sir. So my question is, how do you differ from other horror writers?
All right. So I've read a good number of horror writers, both Indian as well as abroad. And in the context of the authors who are from Western parts of it, they have a sense of emotions which is getting connected to the horror. It's not like the usual Indian writers' horror is more of Ramsay type horror. A girl, a ghost, which is white, and that's the same old formula which is used. But paranormal, like I told you, is very vast. It happens in your day-to-day life. You're not aware. or you have experiences but you're not able to tell. Everybody would have experiences but they are not able to tell.
Yeah.
So these are some of the niche things that the other horror writers don't want to say, or they are afraid to say it. It could be any reason. I just wanted to explore that natural process of real life horror which is unfolding. That's why if you read my book, the stories that I've written, in fact, the horror part will come only in the tail end of like say 10 to 15%, but that will capture your whole 100% attention of, oh my God, this happens to me kind of stuff. That's what I think.
It is relatable somehow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sir. And what is so different in your book that other Indian horror, books lack?
Like I already told you, all the other Indian horror books that you've seen is more of an imagination. Yes, that they have read or have seen or have experienced some kind of, a supernatural entity, and they have tried to imbibe in it. The one core thing, like I told you, was missing was to directly get into the skin of the character, understand from their perspective what is the story all about, and give the readers, not to just tell the readers that that here there is a ghost which is coming. No, I wanted to show them right in front of their face when they're reading the book. That's where it took me a lot of time to get into the skin of those characters that I've spoken to. And what if I feel the same paranormal experiences that my characters was feeling about? That took a lot of time actually to build that emotion into my book. Um, all different stories, if you see, you'll feel like you're reading some other different genre. One will be maybe a romance story, but it finally ends up in horror. One might be a family drama that will end up in a horror. One will be a pure thriller that will end up in an horror. So those things were actually missing when I read Indian horror books. They want to start with horror, something gory comes, everywhere it is the same thing. And that's why that for some long period, I mean, there was that market of horror genre is vacant in an Indian perspective. Although, yes, there are, I cannot completely deny about the works that many people have been putting in. Like, we have good writers like Ruskin Bond who's trying it, like Neil Dale Silva who's trying it, Hari Kumar is trying some of those. Even new authors have come up who wanted to explore the the genre in a way. But I wanted to try a different skin in the game. With all due respect to all the beautiful writers, I wanted to try a very different way to get in the skin of those characters to get something out. For example, there was one night when I just finished a story and I slept. I got up at 3 o'clock. It was a kind of an hallucination. I'm just looking around my room to see all those ghosts standing in front of me, kind of an hallucination. So I found it, wow, this is good. This is what my climax lacked. And I just went right then and then that should be the climax of that story. And I just wrote it. And it came out very well appreciated. So that's one thing that I wanted to bring into the genre of horror, at least in Indian writing.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And this is I feel like this is a very fascinating question, and I really want you to answer this question because it's there in my mind for so long. And is it just the hallucination of the mind, or is it just an alternative reality that the parallel universe really exists and you're not really hallucinating when you see such shadows and all, so I just want to know what do you think, sir?
See, it's a lot to do with the belief that you have. Some people say that they are hallucinating. They might not be wrong at all. I mean, they might. The world that I'm seeing is different from the world that you're seeing. If somebody says that I'm able to hallucinate, I've seen something which is passing by, it could be their own hallucinations as well. People are able to see something. So hallucinations, yes, and the part which every one of us wants to deny is I don't get hallucinations. Everybody do get hallucinations. Everybody gets nightmares. Everybody, everybody will see in that nightmare some ghost who's trying to hold your neck. You're trying to escape, and you open your eyes to see, it is it not happening. It's just an indication that something is tell you something. Your nightmares are telling you that something is going to happen or happened, and it is reacting right now. From a psychological perspective, if you see, yes, hallucination happens for everybody and anybody. But if you ask me, is there a second world wherein there are all ghosts? We don't know. Unless and until a person dies, and what will happen, we never know actually.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of a human life. That should be a secret which is guarded all the time by the gods and humans so far, and it has to be that secret, right? That's the beauty of it. Otherwise people will not get scared of death. Crimes will unfold, right? Now the crime rates are less is because people are scared of death and they don't know what's going to happen, the mystery behind that death. What we as horror writers do is bridge in that gap with that universe, with the present universe. That's the
Thank you so much, sir. Actually, to be very honest, I mean, in my family also, that some of the family members really told me such stories that, when they were sleeping, they felt that someone, forced them and they couldn't speak and all. But I didn't really believe them, right? I was just saying that you were just having a nightmare or something. And I never had that. I never got to experience that, that situation. And I'm really blessed that I didn't have to. But I, up till now, I just told them that they were just, they were just dreaming and all. So I just wanted to ask this question to you, that is it just, hallucination, or is it real and all? So thank you, sir. So what are you trying to emulate in the horror genre, sir?
fear, actually. See, every genre gives you a specific type of a feeling. If you read a romance novel, you feel loved. If you read a thriller, it gives you that thrill to, right, this is a good thriller. When you read mythology, you're able to connect to the gods and, how natural it is. Each and every genre gives you, emulates one specific type of a feeling or an emotion in a human being. So horror books, yes, unless and until a horror book doesn't scare you, if you're not scared of reading a horror book, there is no point in reading. And why do you want to scare? You can ask me. Why do you want people to scare? Fear is one of the most important emotion I believe that you need to understand. What are you scared of?
Yeah.
Are you feared of something? If you're scared, if if you know what you're fearful of, you'll be able to overcome that fear much better way. Why people should read horror is basically because you get scared, not just because you go and hide inside your bedsheet and you don't want to wake up at the middle of the night to go for the loo or something. No, that's not the point. The point is, look at my characters who fight against evil. Everything in your life you get scared so that you can fight against it. So that's the whole,
you can overcome
point.
Fear.
Yeah, every point. At the tail end of it, the benefit of horror is we say that the ghost still lounges because to create an effect that the ghost is still there, the evil is still residing, because we want to showcase the evil character has a protagonist. But the real factor is you learn something from that, the fear that you have created. And the best part to overcome fear is to know that what is your fear. So that's the whole point of, my readers have to read horror genre person.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. It was just an interesting session, and thank you for enlightening us. We really enjoyed it, and I hope when this session will go live, that the audience will enjoy it too, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pragati Vichar. I really enjoyed this session, and I really wish the PVLF team that this year the Lit Fest is going to be a huge success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.